Interesting conversation here, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about how I said, they were showing this mansion on TV that had all these stuffed animals, and I don't mean stuffed as in like the teddy bears, like taxidermy.
Yeah.
And dealing with animal spirits, I thought, why wouldn't a lot of these places be haunted? A lot of these places that have
Tons of taxidermy.
tons of taxidermy. Because if you think about it, if you said, hey, there's a place where there's a bunch of dead people, their bodies are there, you would think that place would be haunted.
Right. Like a graveyard.
Right.
So,
Now, interesting thing, though. Contrary to popular belief, like Linda was saying, a lot of graveyards are not haunted.
right.
Or not as haunted as you would think.
Spirits a lot of times don't seem to know that they're dead, for one thing. They have no idea that they're dead, so they're not going to go to a place where they know their body is buried in the ground. They're just not going to ever think to go there. But then on top of it, the ones who do know they're dead, they're not going to want to be reminded a lot of times that they are dead. They're going to want to kind of live their lives like they normally were. So they wouldn't hang out by a graveyard anyways. So like just a graveyard with your body being in the ground is sort of a bad thing. It would have bad vibes for a spirit. So
Right. And what you said, though, was given the number of spirits that are seen in a graveyard,
yes,
the ratio of that to the amount of people that are actually buried there, it's very low.
Very low, yeah.
And so some people would ask, though, the spirits that are in the graveyard, why are they there? And it's interesting because I've gotten this question quite a bit. And of course, with all this, there's a lot more questions than there are answers that come up as you go along the way. And several different theories.
Yes.
And one that I've kind of come up with why certain spirits are in the graveyard, a couple of different theories, or a couple of different scenarios, I should say, to this theory. One is that if the spirit, if somebody dies, they pass away, and the spirit leaves the body, and there's been reports of people who have had near-death experiences, and they leave their body, and they can actually see their body on the operating table.
Right.
If you are conscious that you passed away, you may very well stay with this body. Stay with that body in disbelief. Like, I cannot believe I'm dead. Is there any way I can get back into that body? And you find yourself at your own funeral. You could think, for example, how many spirits possibly attend their own funeral.
Yeah.
And when their body gets laid into the ground, and they realize at that point, there is no way I'm getting back into my body. Just like people, this spirit could slip into a state of depression and basically drop to their knees by this graveside and never be able to pull them out of that depression to leave that graveside again.
It could be, but I think most of the time people would be like the funeral. I think a lot of people probably do to attend their own funerals, but I would think that the funeral would be sort of awakening. Seeing the body put into the ground or watching the body be burned, as in cremation, I think that would be the wake-up call, that they would realize, okay, wait a minute, I am dead, let me not stick around here. But I do have another theory as to why people would stay in a graveyard or would stay near their dead bodies. And my theory is that people are often buried with their most prized possessions or in their most valued clothing or with their most valued jewelry. And because of that, if I was going to die and be buried, I would say, hey, bury me in my best, pair of jeans and hiking boots.
And a VAPI shirt.
Yeah. Bury me with my silver rings on my fingers.
When you pop up as a spirit, you want that shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want the other
I
ghosts
want
to
the
know what you
VAPI
represent.
shirt. That's
like,
right.
hey, just because I'm dead, I'm not done hunting you.
Exactly.
Ghost hunter.
That's exactly right. But people might be attached to that stuff. Somebody that like that, if that's a valued ring, let's say they have like a emerald ring that was passed down through the family, and they end up being buried with it. Maybe they don't want to be buried with it. Maybe they
they want someone else to have that.
To pass on to somebody else.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be buried with a family heirloom.
Right. So there may be some reason that's related to what's on the body or with the body. Children are often buried with their favorite teddy bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A child is going to stick around. That's where its teddy bear is. So I think that's probably a pretty plausible reason why a spirit would stick around its body.
That's true. That's true. And you think about like unfinished business, like some spirits, if they do realize they're passed away, okay, you got spirits in the house, some of them may not know they've passed away. It happens so sudden.
Right.
Beyond the veil, the house may still look the same to them as it did when they were alive. A modern house may still, or a modern decorated house, may still look the same to them as it did back in the 1800s.
That's exactly right.
They may not even be aware of it.
Yeah.
But there are those that I believe, or I should say I'm open to the possibility, that they are probably aware that they've passed away.
Right.
And these spirits, let's say they have seen their body. They have seen their funeral take place.
Yes.
Okay? Think about this. We go to sleep at night fairly confident that we're going to wake up in the morning.
Right.
Imagine closing your eyes for the last time. That's it.
And you wake up dead.
When you wake up, you are no longer going to have your body.
Right.
You are going to be a spirit.
Yeah.
And you have to face eternity.
Yeah.
Some people may very well be uncertain. And you know, not meaning anything by this. I'm just saying some people are fairly certain or feel fairly certain of where they're going when they pass away.
Some people have
no
idea.
Others have no idea. They have a lot of questions and they have a fear of the other side.
Yeah.
So if this person realizes that they've passed away, they follow their body to the graveside. That could be a very depressing point. Like I said, you could slip into that state of depression. But at the same time, you could realize, look, you know I don't have a chance of coming back on this earth in a human body.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen to me, but I do have something that I need to do. I do have something that I need somebody to know.
Yeah.
So these spirits that return to their houses to complete this business, they're aware that they've passed on.
Yeah.
But they feel that this business and this business that they have to attend to is weighing on them so much that they're actually able to push aside that state of depression that a lot of us may fall into. I mean, no one can fathom what it would be like to see your body laid in the ground to rest.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But there are some things that are such pressing matters that some people can pull themselves away from their own despair.
Yes.
Because they feel they need to help somebody else. They need to get a message across. Or even that unfinished business may be in hopes that they can change where they're spending eternity.
That's right.
If only I did this before I passed away, I wouldn't be so afraid of where I'm going now.
Yeah. That's right. Or some people just may simply be afraid of where they're going. They may think that they're going to heaven and that they're going to be judged by God, and when they get there, and they know that they're not the greatest person in life, and so they're a little bit afraid of what may lie beyond if they go toward that light. So they just choose to stay here on earth. And if that's the case, then, and they don't necessarily feel like they have unfinished business, then I could see these spirits being the ones that are attracted to the living, that are basically going to wander around. I mean, you know, if you think about it, you being a ghost in that sense would be really cool. Like, you're invisible, okay? You can go anywhere you want around the area. You can do anything you want without being seen. You know, that's got sort of an appeal to it, I would say, is because, like, what are you going to do if you're, let's say you're dead, you just died, you realize that you're dead, okay? Where would you go and hang out?
Sheets. And I say that because I've heard people may say, where does food go when ghosts eat? I don't know. I don't know how they can even, you know, but
yeah,
there have been a lot of reports of ghosts eating food.
And drinking stuff, yeah, that's true.
I'm at Sheets. I'm going to haunt a Sheets.
Yeah, there was a haunted Sheets. What was it, the one in Tappahannock? There was one that we
I don't think that was,
somewhere.
I think that was creepy for a different reason.
No,
I think it was scary for a different reason.
No, there was one that somebody said it was haunted. Remember, I came out and I was like, this lady's in the bathroom, we're talking about it being haunted. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, there was a Sheets.
That was the one in Tappahannock where the water came on by itself.
Yeah.
And I actually thought about videotaping the water coming on by itself. I might have done it. It might be in a previous Gas Grubbing Ghost.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be weird pulling the camera out in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I think it was the one up in Tappahannock. Somebody said, And given the crime rate up there and the number of violent crimes that have happened at that Sheets,
They have some crime scene taped around that Sheets quite often.
Quite often. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was haunted by somebody who may have been shot and killed in the parking lot or something. You never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But just so we know and everybody knows, there's a $250 fine for smoking in the hotel room. And just in case you're wondering, it's not just cigarettes, it's weed. But it doesn't say anything about not smoking crack.
You could smoke crack all you want in here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just not weed or cigarettes.